Yo, what's good, everybody? What's going on? Just giving a few seconds for people to join in. And today, we're going to talk about Android 12 Beta 3. We're going to talk about it, how it's been. I have it on my Pixel 4. And yeah, I'm going to give you guys what my experiences have been. See if anyone else is having the same experiences as I am regarding the latest released version of Android 12 Beta, which is a third one. There hasn't been like another update since the release of Android 12 Beta 3. So yeah, it's not like that. You know, I got like a different version or anything like that. Yeah, I'm playing it safe today. I'm live streaming off of Los Mobile. So Shazam! What's up, Maverick? How's it going, man? How's your weekend turning out to be? On hindsight news, today will be my last day using these ever. I made the decision to quit vaping, to quit everything that has to do with any type of nicotine deliverance. So the next couple of days, I know it's going to be a struggle as my body is adjusting to not using it. And it's like a cold turkey thing. So it's not like I'm going to put something in place to make that transition of not vaping easier. I'm just going to take it like a champ and go through the cycles. So my babe, she's very worried about it. She's like, I'm going to stay away from you for a couple of days. And I get it. You know what I mean? I don't know how it's going to go for me. I know I've tried it once when I went to go see my dad. I actually went several hours, I pretty much like almost the entire day without vaping. And at first, I got the urges and everything like that. It started to calm down throughout the day. So at least, you know, from my understanding, at least it's not as bad as cigarettes. Coming off of that, it's pretty hard. And I know, and I remember because it was really hard, and vaping wasn't even doing it for me, but I just kept focusing on just like vaping and not buying a pack of cigarettes. So now I'm giving that up. I want to give that up and just not rely. I don't want to have a crutch in my life that I always have to depend on something. But you know, that's outside of tech and everything like that. So basically, finishing the last little bit of stock that I have of what they call e-juice. And it's very little. I'll probably run out before today's over. And when that happens, it's completely just throw everything away and just leave it at that. The reason is I went to the doctor yesterday. I went and got a checkup with my doctor, a follow up with my diabetes and everything like that. Found out my diabetes is not that bad. So I'm kind of happy about that. So I went and got stuck by vampires, and they took blood out of me. The bruise is going away, but you can still see like a red dot where they punctured me and drew blood. They want to check my A1C and other things too, my cholesterol and everything like that. So that way we can build on a plan to better success and health. So, yeah, I'll keep everyone updated with that. But anyhow, let's talk Android 12 Beta 3. So if you're watching the replay and you have it, please comment below all the experiences that you've had. Let's share the experiences that we've had with Android 12 Beta 3, because I think there are people out there who are just, you know, they want to try it. They're a little concerned, but they do want to try it. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Oh man, I had to sneeze really bad. I didn't want to do it on mic and like blow somebody's eardrum. Okay, I think I got all the sniffles. Well, not the sniffles, but the sneezing out of me. I had the sniffles because we've had a thunderstorm yesterday, and the temperature in the city dropped dramatically. So it's like going from like 106 degrees down to 75 degrees really quickly. So I got the sniffles. Prayers for my older sister. She caught COVID. She called me yesterday. She looked really bad. So I'm just trying to like uplift her spirits and, you know, just give her some little idea remedies and stuff like that she can do to kind of like minimize you know, because I know she's frustrated. She can't taste nothing. She can't smell nothing right now. So she's supposed to message me when she wakes up. I told her to get, you know, much rest and everything like that, but she's supposed to message me when she gets up. So yeah, prayers to my older sister. You guys want to send some prayers over to her? Go ahead and comment them. She'll see them. As this is multicasting to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. All right, so all the little, you know, familiars out the way. Let's get into Android 12 Beta 3. So I'll put a timestamp. So how has Android 12 Beta 3 been for me? And I'll be honest with everybody, it's been okay. As I expected, there's going to be some bugs. There's going to be some issues. So that's something that when I installed beta on here, I already knew that was something that was going to be. If you're taking a beta software thinking that it's going to be absolutely perfect, then yeah, you're up for rude awakening. It's beta software for a reason, and so I expected there to be some bugs, and there is some bugs. I'm going to go over them with everybody. Oh man, excuse me 1 second. Okay. All right. So, what are some of the first bugs that I've experienced with Android 12 Beta 3 that has kind of been an issue? And it's still the YouTube Studios app. So most of the apps that I have on here, they work just fine, you know. And I'll list off the apps that I have. So I have the Alfred Security Cam app. I don't know if anyone uses that. I do, especially like when I leave the house and I'm going to be gone away from long periods of time. I like to be able to have like a home, security system that's not a professional home security system. So the Alfred Security app, I have that installed in here, and it works just fine. I have my other older phones set up all around the apartment. They're actively connected to the Wi-Fi, and I can view what's going on in my house. I can see things, but this is not an app review. But I mean, that's what I have is Alfred. I have the Anchor app for podcasting. Sometimes I'll podcast, from my setup here, my rig that I have set up right here. Or if I'm on the go, I will do an audio podcast on Anchor, just record directly from the phone if I want to get something out quickly. Don't have time to wait to go back home and set up and get the good audio with the microphone and everything. But I could always connect these microphones via Type-C, USB Type-C. Just connected to the port right here, and it actually works. It will work. Android Auto is on here. That's by default. I have the backdrop apps. That's there. I have the Blogger app. I'm trying to get back into typing up blogs. So when I'm fully doing that, I will post links to it in case people want reading material. You can read my blogs. I have the Facebook Business app, which used to be Facebook Pages Manager, but now it's called Business. Calculator, calendar, the camera app, those things are going to work fairly well because those are native apps. Cash App works. I don't have any issues getting in and out of Cash App or doing any transactions with Cash App. I have Google Chat, Chrome, Clock, Contacts. I have the Root Metrics coverage map, which does you can speed test the network with it, and this app is done by Root Metrics. Of course, to manage the bill and to manage the Wi-Fi connection, I have both the Cox and Cox Wi-Fi app. I have the Facebook Creators app, so if I create videos specifically for the Facebook page, simply I can control it, govern, and look at things, analytics and stuff like that from there. Credit Karma, so I can track my credit. and it works. Google Docs and Google Drive, Dropbox, Duo works really good video calling, but more people are now using Google Meets, so go figure. Duo's eventually going to be thrown to the wolves. It'll be in the Google graveyard not too long. Facebook, I have the Google Family app, which I can govern accounts that I'm monitoring. Fast for fast.com, just to speed test like how the network would be with the media. I have my app for fasting, so it tracks my fasting throughout the day. Google Files, Fit, those work pretty good. Gmail, the Google app, Google One, GPay, Google TV, and the new GPay is on here. HBO Max works, so I can watch movies and stuff like that. To control the smart home speakers in the house, I have the Google Home app, which also controls the Chromecasts. IGTV and Instagram both work. Keep Notes is there. I have Life 360, so family can see where I'm at all times. LinkedIn, just so I have my resume built out. So if I want to join a company that I think is actually really good and better pay, I can join them. Use that for my resume. The McDonald's app, I have that for when I take the kids out. I build rewards and use that to get the kids like ice creams or Happy Meals and stuff like that. Google Meets for video calling, so mostly everyone in the family and the household uses. Macari, when I want to look for things that I could probably find cheaper, I look on Macari. Android messages, Facebook messages, MeWe, Navy Federal Credit Union, Google News, NPerf, Odyssey, OfferUp, Parler, PayPal, the phone, photos. I don't know why Play Music is here when it doesn't even work anymore. They should literally do an update that gets rid of Play Music. The Play Store, the Google Podcast app, Pokemon Go, Power Director for editing videos, and that semi works. I'll get into that in a little bit. The audio recorder, Reddit. We got the Google Safety app, settings, Snapchat. I have the speed test. I have Google Stadia on here, a thumbnail maker, TikTok, Google Translate, Tubi TV, Tumblr, Twitch, Twitter, the Visual app to control my account, Google Voice because that's the one that I mostly use for phone calls and text messaging, and I don't give out my actual main number. YouTube Music, YouTube Studios, and Zedge. So those are all the apps that I have, and most of them, majority, they work just fine on Android 12 Beta 3. The ones that give me problems is Power Director and YouTube Studios. Now, the problem with YouTube Studios is that when it's freshly installed, I can launch YouTube Studios. I can get in there. I can reply to comments. I can look at the analytics of all my videos. I can even edit videos and like edit the settings, edit the description, edit the tags, switch on monetization, all those things, even set an instant premiere. I can do it all from the YouTube Studios app. But every now and then, like once I've used it maybe like a few times, and throughout the day, later on in the day, I'll try to open YouTube Studios. It shows the splash screen for YouTube Studios, and then it crashes. And you click it, it's like it wants to open, it crashes. So I figured, okay, you know what? Maybe let me go ahead and just wipe the entire storage for the YouTube Studios app. And I'll go into settings, I'll find apps, I'll go to the list of all the apps installed, I'll find Studios, I will force stop it, I will go into storage, I will clear data and cache, and then I will, hey, what's up, Kazi? What's going on? What's up, Oscar? Welcome. So I'll do all that. I'll clear the data, I'll clear the cache. It's force stopped. I'll go back into the app drawer, select YouTube Studios. It opens, shows the YouTube Studios splash screen. It gets to the intro where it says get started at the bottom, and you see a little bit of like just some animation stuff. The moment that it tries to get into the full app itself, it crashes again. Now, I've heard people say, on the chat forums, like go to Android Web Services, clear the data and storage on that, force stop it, reopen it, and then your apps that are crashing should work. And I did that. It doesn't work. The only fix I found to fix YouTube Studios on Android 12 Beta 3 from crashing all the time is to completely uninstall the app and then reinstall it, which is cumbersome and annoying. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, phone tech at work, what's up? Salute to you. So it's like every time you open YouTube Studios and it starts to crash, the only fix on Android 12 Beta 3 is to uninstall it and reinstall it. And then you'll be able to do anything that you need to do in YouTube Studios mobilely for a while until the app crashes again. I've sent several feedbacks, including some log for Google to look at to find out why YouTube Studios is crashing on Android 12 Beta 3. And it's been doing it on Beta 2 and Beta 1. It has not changed. So I sent feedback when Beta 1 was out. I sent feedback when Beta 2 was out. I sent the same feedback when Beta 2.1 was out. And then now I sent feedback with Beta 3. I don't know why YouTube Studios fails on it, but it's doing it. But that is the only app out of all the apps that I listed for apps that I have installed on my Pixel 4 that crashes with Android 12 Beta 3. And I've had Beta 3 on the Pixel 5. YouTube Studios does it there. I've had Beta 3 on the Pixel 3a, and YouTube Studios crashes there too. So it's not like specifically one device. It's all the Pixels that I have. YouTube Studios crashes on Android 12. So I don't know what they're going to do to fix that, but it will be fixed. Rest assured, all those things will be ironed out in Beta 4, 5, and 6, or however many betas it takes after this, in order for Android 12 and Google to have it smoothed out. Now, as far as the Power Director app, so this is the app that I use both on my Pixelbook and on my phones to edit videos. That's how I edit my videos. I shoot my videos with mobile phones. I edit with mobile phones or a Chromebook. I don't have an expensive or nearly expensive camera to record videos. Not knocking anyone that does it. Let me be specific, because I know these days in the thought process of some people, they might think, oh, man, you're dissing people that use these, professional cameras. No, I'm not. But I use what I have, and my mobile phones suffice. So I record with phones. I edit my video with phones. I do audio narratives, with this microphone and this Pixelbook, just to get, a more crispier audio than a flat sounding audio that you would normally get from a basic microphone on the smartphone. And Power Director, it works for the editing. A couple of things that I do know is, like, every now and then trying to add, transitions in between the cuts, eventually gets a coding error and crashes the app. Also, when you do get through the editing, say it's smooth, you did your jump cuts, you got your transitions in there a little bit, you got your intro, you got your outro put all together. Maybe you did a voiceover and that's laid out. Then you have like a background music track that's laid out underneath that, lowered, so it kind of doesn't overpower your voiceover, but doesn't have like a flat, like a no sound background type of thing that just seems kind of bland. Say you did all that work and then you hit for it to render. I've noticed with it that it has this problem where it starts to render from 0 to 15%. Anywhere in between there, it'll get stuck. And then you're like looking at it like, okay, why isn't it not progressing any further? And then it crashes. Those are the two apps on Android 12 Beta 3 that have been giving problems. Other than that, the rest of the apps that I have that I've listed off, all of them are working just fine. All their functionalities are working just fine. So this is like, kind of a little shocking for me, just because to see it that much smooth and it's only in Beta 3 is not really what I was thinking. I was thinking that, we would have the bugs like we've had, with Android 11 Beta 3 and Android 10 Beta 3, we've had some issues around that time, governing that time. Having them work out like having most apps working generally good, unheard of. But I guess, with Android development and everything like that, they've made it to where they seamlessly can get these APIs out to third-party developers, to allowing their apps to actually function. Or it could just be like possibly because it is considered Android 12 beta. Maybe just like certain aspects of Android 12 that's in it, but like the core foundation is still Android 11, and that's why most of these apps are still working great. Not entirely sure. I would love to, to head over to Google and be able to sit down with their Android development team and spend 5 days with them and just see all the inner workings. But of course, if I do that, they'll probably put some kind of embargo on me where I can't talk about the things that they do. But I could probably get some good insight. Who knows? Who knows if I'll ever get to go? That would be amazing. That would be like a trip of a lifetime, right? Like, people like, hey, look, I'm going to Disneyland. I'd be that one, like, yeah, I'm going to Google. I would be the one that's like so hot, so amped and so hyped about it. When is the releasing of the final Android 12? I know Pixel gets it first. So that will more than likely be at the end of August, beginning of September, right before the month of Made by Google's event, which is in October. Because the next Pixel device is going to launch with Android 12 native in it to start out. While the back catalog that's supported will get the update to the final version. And yeah. So Pixel 3s, this will be their last full-fledged software updates and security patches. They will no longer be supported after this year. Next year, the 3A and the Pixel 4 will no longer be supported. The year after that, the 5 will no longer be supported with the 4A and the 4A 5G. But by then, we'll be at the Pixel 8. It's kind of crazy. Excuse me 1 second, man. All right. Yeah, this weather will get to you. Will Google do 5 years on any of their phones? If they're going to do 5 years on any of their phones, it's going to be the Pixel 6 and greater, because they're no longer depending on Qualcomm chips with that. That would be the reason why that there was only like 3 years of software support with only 2 major OS updates. Was basically, they had to correlate with the aging of Qualcomm chips, which every year there's a new Qualcomm chip, and some of the ones they may go 2 or 3 years, but 4 years after that they're an afterthought. They are starting to show their age, so that's why it's been 3 years. With this new chip that they've developed, with the help of Samsung, we could see 5 years. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I get why people would want 5 years of support, and that would be great to have. But, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I don't really think 5 years of support really even matters to majority of consumers, because consumers upgrade their phones just about every year. Like, we've been conditioned and programmed to get the newest phone. You get the Pixel 6 and you'll brag about it. I got the Pixel 6 and it's so great. And it's got this funky look to the back of it, but it's fast and it's efficient and it can do this. And oh, wait, look, there's the Pixel 7. Like, that's literally how we are. We have been conditioned to be ADHD with our tech. We don't stay on it. So when people kind of like, and I'm not saying you are, Kazi, and no way I'm saying it, but there's other people who have commented and they get pretty brutal with their comments. I don't know what it is, man. I'm wondering if they're thinking they're gonna get an Oreo out of it, if they just like try to make you look like you don't know what the hell you're talking about, type of thing. But then people that will argue with me in the sun and be like, yeah, this is why iPhone's so much better, because iPhone gets longer support. It's like, yeah, iPhone gets longer support. I'll give you that. But Apple kind of realized that they bit themselves in the foot when they decided that they were going to do this. This is the reason why we had situations where Apple was, with software updates, they were slowing the performance down on older iPhones, because they kind of wanted to like kind of push you to upgrade. And when they got caught, then they gave this lame-o excuse that we dropped the performance of your iPhone because the battery won't handle it. So then in a class action lawsuit, Apple was beaten, and then Apple had to do battery replacements. And yeah, they kind of, I don't think they really learned a lesson there, but they kind of did. We don't know if they are technically until somebody really looks into, older iPhone devices and see if Apple's purposely, degrading their performance. Yeah. I don't see consumers upgrading though anymore because of AT&T's new 36-month bill credits. Maybe other carriers will use that tactic, but hopefully not. Oh, well, yeah. Well, only time will tell. Only time will tell on that one. But more people still, upgrade. It's just in their nature too. They always want the latest and greatest. We in the mobile tech space, we have been conditioned to want the latest and greatest. You know what I mean? So, have you tested Nerd Apps on Beta 12? Ookla, NPerf, OpenSignal, Signal Check Pro, Network Cell Info, Samsung Band Selector. Well, I have Ookla and NPerf. And I've used OpenSignal. I've used Meteor. Those work on there. I had Signal Check Pro on there so I can see what bands are connected. I don't think that code works on Pixels. I don't think the Samsung Band Selector will work on here. I don't know. Let's try it. Why not, right? We're live. Let's do it live. Let's see if I install the Samsung Band Selector. Let's see what happens. All right, so it's downloading right now. Well, let's try that code that you threw up there. And that code would be *#0011#, and that does not work. It'll work on Samsungs, but it won't work on Pixels. I don't know why they keep it that way. It would be nice, since Google likes to project the Pixels of being like, very maneuverable and stuff like that. It'd be really cool if you can actually get in there and like really select like what LTE bands you want to connect to, so you can filter out all the junk ones. All right, I'm opening Samsung Band Selector. Let's see. Launch band selection. Hidden network setting activity not found on device. It shows a SIM and support the developer. So yeah, you can't use this on Pixels. Does not allow for it. It won't be able to like find the LTE bands, and then help you force connect to specific ones. What's up, Oscar? My Metro by T-Mobile comment from the other day wasn't that bad. I wasn't talking about your Metro by T-Mobile comment. I'm talking about those people that like really come in and just like leave you like a long, huge comment. And you can tell by the way someone is typing their comment out whether they're actually genuinely just trying to add on more info for people to gain knowledge from, or when they're just being a know-it-all and they just want to kind of like show you up on what they know versus what you know. Which my only response to people like that is not to go and tell them to go eat a D or F off or any of that stuff. My only thing is start a YouTube channel and start talking about these things. You know what I mean? Like if I'm saying something in error that that you're correct on, don't come at me with this I'm smarter than you thing. You know what I mean? Because of course there's people that's smarter than me. I don't claim to be the almighty all-knowing. I just know what I know. I share what I share. If I'm wrong and someone calls me out on it and they're correct, I will take that and let people know I was wrong about this and this is the correct thing. I've never been ashamed to admit that I'm wrong. First of all, I don't even know why people would even be afraid to admit that they're wrong. That doesn't really hurt you. And like I said, I would want people to have the most best correction and information that there is out there. So, but there's just those people that do come to creators channels to try and show them up. And I'll just always tell them, like, make a channel of your own and do this and help people. Because that's all I want to do is just help people and just give people an understanding about things and share my experiences to help somebody else out, kind of like gauge what they're going to do with their decision makings. And that's it. What's up, Big John Tech Reviews? Hey, good afternoon to you. So anyways, yeah, so those are some of the things that I've experienced with Android 12 Beta 3 as far as like, app crashing and app issues would be with Power Director and would be with YouTube Studios. Everything else seems to be working smoothly and just fine. And, one of the things I do like is that, with the visuals, they did fix they didn't fix, but it did get improved with the auto theme change when you switch your wallpaper. So like I have the gorillas here as my wallpaper, and currently right now, because it's in dark mode, so the accent colors for everything is kind of like a light pink. However, if I was to go into wallpaper styles and say I was to switch out of dark theme, then the native color for everything would actually be more of like a maroon color, which matches the wallpaper. So and that's one thing I've noticed about it though, with this whole theme switcher thing, is that you get nice wallpaper, thank you. Gorillas is like it's in my top 10. I listen to that playlist. My kids, they get embarrassed when I play it. I like their music. And I don't know if you guys know this, interesting enough, but like their earlier music videos is like a movie. It's all linked together. I may do that just to show you guys the videos in order. Of course, that will be like a live stream where it's not monetized, so I don't get in trouble by YouTube. But it'd be fair use act. But anyways, maybe one day we'll like go over all the videos in sequence order to see the stories of the gorillas. But yeah, they are my favorite band, and I like their music videos. They're just awesome. People don't listen to music or watch music videos anymore like they used to. Like music videos used to be very popular when I was growing up. That's why MTV was on a roll. Now MTV is full of like reality shows and less music videos. So like if they tried to bring back Beavis and Butthead, it'd be irrelevant because like in every episode of Beavis and Butthead, there's two montage segments that are about like 10 minutes each, and then the last 7 minutes, like 5 minutes and 7 minutes of the episode is Beavis and Butthead watching a music video and then talking crap about it. But there's no music videos really to talk about nowadays. But anyways, yeah. So with the theme itself, it seems like that the more vibrant colors of the theming happens when you're in light mode, which a lot of people would rather be in dark mode because obviously, they're like, that saves on battery. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to leave it on light mode today and see how long my battery lasts compares to dark mode. See if there's like a significant grand difference between them, or if not. And then I'll do a video about that and drop that video probably Monday. Yes, MTV is not what it used to be. Not what it used to be. Because when I was growing up, MTV, that was a channel that I would watch. VH1 was good too. But VH1 had like a variety of music videos, right? Like they would go into the current day music, but they would also go back into like the early 90s, late 80s, at least for me when I was watching it. And MTV really kind of stuck to the current stuff. They had like a time slot where they had hip hop, and then it would switch over. They would have like alternative rock, grunge. I don't remember them having a punk rock hour, but I'm thinking that would probably be later in the night. Because then like around 7 o'clock ish, they would have MTV Odyssey where they had animation cartoons like Eon Flux, The Max. They would have those cartoons on there, Beavis and Butthead and Daria, all those. And then after that, they would have like throughout late night, like about 11, 12 o'clock, it would be like heavy metal, death metal and stuff like that. But I don't remember there ever being a punk rock section. because I remember I used to stay up late. My dad would be like, "Hey, you got school tomorrow. Go to bed early so you're not tired in the morning." And the reason I was tired in the morning was because late at night, between 11 and 3 o'clock in the morning, they played music. They played heavy metal and death metal and stuff like that. And I was a huge fan of Slipknot. I'm not going to be, not going to shy away of it. I listened to Korn. Korn was considered new metal. I don't really consider Limp Bizkit metal, but I guess they kind of, yeah. I graduated in '83 and MTV was popping and made a big difference in watching cable. Yeah, I bet. But I grew up watching MTV in the early '90s, right? Because I was born in '82. So the early '90s, I was in my adolescent years watching MTV, watching music videos. Yeah. And yes, I listen to metal. I listen to a variety of music. I don't define myself by genre of music. There's some music that's hip hop that I like, that I listen to. There's and for me, when it does come to hip hop, I like more lyrical content than as far as the candy stuff that's out right now. So if you got lyrical talent, if your flow is dynamic, it flows, rhymes, but also completely smoothly sticks to a story, I like that type of stuff. I'm talking about the duck walking and then the duck get, pop, whatever, stuff like that. It's just it absolutely has no meaning, but you're just mumbling and rhyming words to rhyme words. It's just, yeah. But that's the type of hip hop I like, is lyrical, very lyrical. So stuff like Hopsin and NF today is hip hop that I like to listen to. Especially NF. NF reaches out to a lot. I don't know if anyone's ever really heard his music. I'm sure the younger generation has, but people that's around my age or a little bit older, I don't know if you've ever listened to NF. His real name is Nathan Fierstein, but he goes by NF. And his music really does have some really strong messages behind them, and positive or in sharing of suffering for people to see that they're not alone in suffering. He makes that type of music. Good stuff. I listen to his things. Other than that, I think my favorite hip hop artist that is not really discovered is so he goes by his real name now. He goes by the name Russell. But before that, he was known as Pride, Pryde. And before that name change, he was known as D Pride. He is Filipino. He is from Toronto. And I guess people will call him a YouTube music artist because his music is always on YouTube. He's opened up for guys like J. Cole, who's come to his city to perform and stuff like that, but he hasn't really broken out yet as far as ascending to stardom. But he's trying, and his music, I like his music. He can do it all. He can rap. He can sing R&B. I like he's another artist, but that's from the hip hop side. So really, it's NF, Hopsin, and Russell I like to listen to. Other than that, majority of the music that I listen to on a day-to-day would be Gorillaz, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, 9 Inch Nails, Limp Bizkit, Korn, Linkin Park, Slipknot, Scar the Martyr, Vimic, Puddle of Mud, Third Eye Blind, Matchbox 20. There's just so many different freaking bands. 311. Gosh, there's too many to name. Yeah, I pull more from that. My sister used to make fun of me. Pixel King, what's up? My sister used to make fun of me because she'd be she'd make fun of me because I hung out with skaters from Hickam Air Force Base. So military kids, I hung out with them, skateboarded with them, and stuff like that. So she was you're influenced with them because all the people she hung out with, they were all into hip hop from back in the day, So they were all into Dr. Dre, Snoop, Corrupt, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crucial Conflict, and all these other groups. I wasn't really into that. There's some hip hop that I like to listen to. Bone Thugs and Harmony, I was a real huge fan of them. I told you guys, I used to mimic their style in school. God, that's a cringe moment when I think about it. Do I like Train? That would probably be one band I don't think I've ever heard of. But even going beyond that in music wise, Like there's some older, not they're not really older stuff, but like The Cure. I like listening to The Cure, Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears, Aha, Flock Seagulls. You guys know where I'm going with that, right? Like the 80s cocaine era. And then I don't know if hopefully YouTube doesn't, ding me for that, but that's literally what it was called, right? Like that music you heard in clubs during the days of that specific drug of choice. So so they kind of identified that with it. But even like Toto, yeah, I'm all over the place with music. Shoot, I'm probably one of the few people. Creed, I like Creed. Creed's okay. I'm probably one of the few people that listen to Paul Simon, which I don't know if anyone really knows who Paul Simon is, or maybe you've heard of the group duo, Simon and Garfunkel. Paul Simon was with that duo group till he went on his own. Daryl Hall and John Oates, I love listening to their music. If people don't know who Daryl Hall and John Oates is, if you've heard of the song "She's a Man Eater," that's them. Yes, and I do listen to some Michael Jackson. I know, over the last, 2 decades, people has made it like a life goal to trash and make fun of Michael Jackson, but his music is actually good. I still remember when he finally did a song and a music video to prove to people that him and Janet were not the same person. And that was crazy when they actually did that. Man, I tell you, I mean, I even like listening to the Beatles, and like my dad would try to introduce me to that music when I was young and I was like rebellious and stupid. But like I always remember the songs that my dad would listen to and things like that. So I would, search it up online just to listen to it. And it's good music. Richie Valens, Buddy Holly. Geez, it's good music when you actually listen to it. Like, I'm a fan of music, and I'm a fan of all genres. Striper, Poison, right? Twisted Sister, Guns N' Roses. I mean, I listen to music for music. I know, like, there's a music generation that listens to music, and then they critique the artist, and because the artist does certain things, they're like, I won't touch their music. I'm not that type of person. I care less about the individual that made the song and their personal life. Screw it. They all go through their demons and stuff like that. But the music is what matters, right? The music, you can identify with, you can relate with. My dad had Michael Jackson cassettes in his 01 Camry. No, there's a lot of songs from Michael Jackson that I like. His past stuff, his mid-90s stuff, they were good. They were good listening and stuff like that. So I still listen to it. Prince, I still listen to Prince. His music is actually, yeah, it's out there. His music is out there. What was it? Cancel culture, and I can't remember his name. I think it's George Michael, which Limp Bizkit did a redo to his song. It was crazy. But music is good, and I don't know. I think some people are like, sometimes they're a little shy to admit it, but like music can actually help you. Like, I'll tell you guys right now, like songs from NF, the reason I discovered NF and everything like that was when I was going through my depression state and I was listening to music based on my mood and everything like that. And I found his music, I was listening to it. His words are powerful in his, his lyrics to his songs. And then I started watching his music videos, and I'm like, whoa, this guy's like an old school person. Like, he makes his music videos relevant to what he's like projecting. You know what I mean? So like, if he's talking about, carrying burdens throughout life and stuff like that, he'll have something in his music video that signifies it, which, he carries like a bundle of black balloons, and he'll either tie it to his jacket, he'll tie it to a shopping cart that he's pushing. He'll carry it, and the balloons signify your burdens. You know what I mean? Like you always carry them with you. They can weigh you down throughout your journey in life and things like that. Like it's so cool. I would say a music video he did and a song that he did that I really, really enjoyed was Lost. So if you guys want to like YouTube that, just YouTube NF and then Lost, and then watch that video. It features Hobson, and it's a really good mix between these two guys because they dynamically flow lyrically. They're not what people will call mumble rappers, so and it's good stuff. Yeah, Culture Club. Cancel culture. Why the hell did I say that? Culture Club. My bad. Thank you, Maverick. Thank you for that. Ooh. Favorite movie soundtracks? My favorite movie soundtracks, and good thing you brought that up. G-Boy 888. So, yes, I don't know if anyone was ever interested in grabbing movie soundtracks. I used to go to Tower of Records. Every time a movie came out and the songs in the movies was like good, it was a good, mixtape basically. So I would go to Tower Records and find it. I think my favorite would be, this is going to be crazy for you guys. I actually have two favorites. So one of them is the Batman Robin movie. Not Batman Robin, Batman Forever. The Batman Forever movie's movie soundtrack is one of my favorites. And one of my favorite songs from that soundtrack, obviously, is the band U2 with, was it Hold Me, Kiss Me, Throw Me, Kill Me, something like that. I forgot the actual title of the song, but it's that one. It was a really good one, and the music video was awesome. Another one that's my favorite is End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Songs from Korn and stuff like that is actually pretty good. Conan the Barbarian soundtrack is one of my. Oh, you mean like the actual because people used to get confused when movies came out. They would drop like two different movie soundtracks. One would actually be like music from bands and music artists, and the other one would actually be from the movie itself. So like the symphony of like the sounds. Like for instance, I had a friend in Job Corps. Everyone called him Tiny, really big dude, and he got embarrassed one time because someone took his CD player and put his headphones on and was listening to what he was listening to. He was literally walking around the Job Corps campus, and he had the Star Wars movie soundtrack. But it was, it had like Darth Vader's theme, it had the Jedi theme, it had the Senate theme. It had all those very recognizable themes, and he was listening to Darth Vader's theme, and so people were like kind of like teasing him about it. Yeah, movie scores. Yeah, they were teasing him about it, and so yeah. Hi, Gene. I'm excited to see you're live today. Gene's live right now. But yeah, so my fave movie soundtrack is none other than Top Gun. Okay, I give you that one. Top Gun was good. It was good. I'll give you that. Top Gun, very good one. Yes, it is. Oh yeah. So I don't even know why. Like there's such a deep ocean of music, and music in all forms, not just your favorite popular star driven like musical artist. I mean, come on, like I still give props to the guy who came up with the animated X-Men cartoon intro, right? I don't know if anyone ever saw the YouTube video of the guy that created that, and I'm glad he did, because they had another intro to the X-Men animated cartoon series, and it was just so horrible. It was so horrible that I'm glad this guy developed it. Yeah, because it would have been so corny to listen to them. I don't know if you guys want to hear it, but maybe I can find it. Actually, no, I can't, because this is being monetized, so I can't play that. Maybe next time. Maybe next time when I do a live talking about comics and stuff like that, then I'll get into it, and I'll find the video and save it so I can quickly find it and bring it up. Maybe we'll go over that, because I used to watch X-Men. I'll be on a side note, I got really pissed off because the first few episodes of X-Men, Morph supposedly dies, but then they find him on Sinister X's island, where his island, your mutant abilities no longer work. So Wolverine's healing factor doesn't work. Professor X and his telekinetic abilities are gone, yet he can walk again. Magneto can't use his magnetized powers, but Morph happened to be there on that island. Beast staying in jail, not wanting to fight and break his way out. My second favorite is Back to the Future. You know what's sad? My youngest daughter, she keeps getting mad at me because I want her to watch Back to the Future with me, like all three of them. She doesn't want to watch them because she says it's so boring. All they do is they talk too much, and she grunts and gets mad when I'm like, Back to the Future is amazing. So when like she talks about movies that she's like all hyped up about, she gets mad at me because she'll be like the new Ladybug cartoon movie's out, and then I'll tell her, I'll be like, Nevaeh? She's like, what? I'm like, Ladybug is boring. It's so boring. All they do is talk. And she's like, no, it's not. It's good. Back to the Future sucks. I'm like, she loves to fight with me over Back to the Future. It's crazy. But Back to the Future, that's a good movie. I don't know if you guys ever remember, like, I can't remember the name of the movie. Maybe one of you guys knows it. But it's an old, family style movie. It stars Hulk Hogan when, Hulk Hogan was breaking into Hollywood. And it had The Undertaker in that movie too. And Hulk Hogan's he's like an intergalactic space hero, crash lands on Earth. And so he's hiding out with this family on Earth so he can fix his ship and return home. And then these galactic bounty hunters come after him on Earth, and one of them is played by The Undertaker. It's not Mr. Nanny. I know it's not that. It's something else. I just can't remember the name of that movie. Don't know why, but Anvil of Crom from Conan soundtrack makes me want to lift heavy. I mean, dude, like those soundtracks were Suburban Command. Yeah, Maverick with the save. Yes, bro, I remember movies like that when I was growing up watching that stuff, dude. Like, that was the thing back in the day. People were very amped up about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe the culture, in the U.S. was just very open. People were very connective and stuff like that. You know what I mean? These are the things that I miss that's no longer prevalent today. But yes, Suburban Commander, yes. Because around that time, what was it? It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that we won't see a conclusion to it. I don't know if anyone really wants to see a conclusion to this movie, but Wayne's World was, and still today, I still watch it. I try to show my kids to see if they'll get into it. They kind of watch it with me, but they don't really understand the dynamic of it. Because you got Wayne Campbell, Garth Algar, and they're airheaded, metalheads. And the fact is, and I always my oldest daughter talks about it. She's like, why are they so space headed? And I told her that was the thing back in the day, And I told her, but if you think about it, these guys were like the first YouTubers. She was like, how's that? I told her, I was like, well, look, they run their own show. But their shows run on public cable access. Yeah, Suburban Commando. Yeah, it was like, so Wayne's World was a show that ran on a local public access channel. I was like, pretty much what we do on YouTube. It was like this, if I had a Garth with me and we were just jamming out Wayne's World, right? I mean, I do have a guitar back there. So I told her, I was like, yeah, that's the idea of YouTube, Wayne's World. They were doing that stuff. Like music, movie, pop culture, all that stuff, I mean? Today, it's not really about that. That's the sad part. Today, it's politics. Hey, trust me, I have my opinions on that, but I don't need to force my opinions out there for anybody. I think that people should again embrace individual thought, yet unification of happiness. Your second favorite is Back to the Future. Back to the Future. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, as far as TV show stuff, I like, for TV shows and actual TV shows, not cartoons, but growing up, I actually liked watching, was it the Lucy show? So I liked watching I Love Lucy is what it is. I love watching that show. I Dream of Jeannie. So those are stuff that was shown on Nickelodeon. Besides those, I used to sit and watch MASH with my dad. My dad liked watching MASH. That was like his favorite show to watch in the evening after dinner. And I would sit with him and watch a couple of episodes every now and then. If I didn't want to watch it, I'd be in my room with my Ninja Turtle collection of toys, G.I. Joe collection of toys, and I would just be in my room playing before bedtime. But if not, I would sit down and watch MASH with my dad. I liked watching that show. Even game shows, man. Like I grew up watching some game shows. Like my mom liked watching I forgot that show is called, but it has to do with the pyramids. But that, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, I forgot what the name of that game show, that TV game show, the one with the whammies. Everyone would be like, big bucks, no whammies. And they hit the button and it lands on a whammy. And this animated whammy doing something ridiculous like vacuuming up all your money and laughing and stuff. Like, I forgot what that show was called. Wow, this stream turned in from Android 12 Beta 3 into nostalgic, like pop culture stuff. Which is fine though, because I've already said what I needed to say about the Android 12 Beta 3. But yeah, does anyone know the name of that show? Does anyone know what that show is called? The one with the whammies? Yeah, the Pyramid one's just called Pyramid. Pressure Luck, yes! G-Boy 888 with the save on that one. Pressure Luck, yes. And Pyramid, yeah. Yeah, those were fun. Those game shows were fun to watch back in the day. My mom was into her soap operas. So, like, if I was home from school, I was stuck watching Guiding Light, All My Children, and General Hospital, and those types of stuff. My mom was into that. My mom's favorite singer was in that movie Grease, Olivia Newton-John. I think that's her name. That was my mom's favorite singer. But other than that, I mean, you've never watched Pressure Luck? Oh man, it was funny. It was funny to watch that. As a matter of fact, lately, so like I have the Tubi TV app, and they have some old, TV shows. Yeah, with John Travolta. Yeah, John Travolta is like one of my top 20 actors. Him, Bruce Willis, Johnny Depp, and those are others. But anyways, so like, I'll admit to you guys, I don't know if you guys ever seen the late 80s, early 90s adaptation of the TV show Zorro. But when I moved in to live with my mom, after the whole eruption in the Philippines with Mount Pinatubo, living with my mom. So I was like trying to find something new to watch on TV. My mom worked nights, so it was just me and my sister in the apartment. And my sister would be listening to her music. You would hear like TLC and Mariah Carey just blasting out of the bedroom. So I'd be in the living room alone, just watching TV. And I remember I was on the ABC Family Channel. I remember the network it came on, and then Zorro came on. It came on the TV, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks kind of cool!" Like some weird dude, masked bandit, riding on a black horse, just across the plains in California. And then I started watching episodes, and it was always the same thing. Diego de la Vega, basically, pretending that he's not a swordsman or a fencer, what they would call him, and that he was into his science experiments and stuff like that. But then he would don the suit of Zorro, which was his created vigilante hero, and he would always help the people of California against the Spanish government, because Spain was in control of California at that time. And I got into it. So recently I went on Tubi TV, and I just decided to look up Zorro because I also liked the remake adaptation of the movies, the one with Antonio Banderas, who takes on holding the mantle of Zorro. So Diego de la Vega finds someone to take his place, and it happens to be Joaquin Murrieta, and he dons the mask of Zorro. He's trained by de la Vega directly to, maneuver, to sword fence, and all that stuff, just like him, so he can continue on helping the people in California. And I thought that movie was good, because when I first heard about The Legend of Zorro, the movie coming out, I was thinking like, oh man, they're gonna really tell the story, and how are they gonna do this? And then I watched the movie, and I was like, okay, so they're not actually going off on Diego de la Vega's story. They're showing a transition from him to another person taking up the Zorro character, and it was good. It was good. But finding that they had the early '90s TV series of Zorro, they have two seasons of it, I think. So I was starting to watch them over again and fell in love with the whole thing again. So I've been binge watching it, and yeah, it's funny. But even that, I'm trying to find a spot that has Batman the animated series that used to come on WB. Because I used to come home from school, and then that was like something that I would watch. I thoroughly remember the intro every time. Like I would turn the TV on, I would go in the kitchen, start making me something to eat, and right at 4:00 it came on. I was like, I'll watch Batman the animated series. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's some nostalgia right there. Anyways, guys, gals, thanks for coming in and hanging out. Thank you to Maverick, to Gboy888, Gene, Oscar, Big John. Thank you guys for coming in, hanging out with me for this little bit, and allowing me to kind of go into mid-90s pop culture, movies, TV shows, and music. Thanks so much for allowing me to kind of like relive those moments and those movies. And now I'm going to look for Suburban Commando because now I want to watch it. But yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we will go over in depth, just basically with 90s pop culture. So if you guys want to come back tomorrow, watch that live stream, bring some references that you guys, can think of, just bring it in, and we'll just have all. Did Zorro have anything to do with the Spanish Inquisition? I know about the show, but never watched it. No, not really so much as the Spanish Inquisition. This was a little bit later on after. So the time setting takes place to where the United States was about to go to war with Mexico, for the territories of Texas, Louisiana. So this, I would say, this would be like maybe 15 years before the Alamo. It's set around that time setting for Zorro. But it's good stuff, man. If you want to check it out, download Tubi TV. Movies and shows there are free. Yes, they run ads in them, but that's what makes it free. The ads pay for your viewing. So if you could do it with advertisement like regular TV, then you'll be good. It's not as frequent as regular TV. Like I say, like if you watched like an episode, you'd probably get maybe 1 or 2 ads in it. If you watch the movie, you'd probably get like two ads in it as well. Out of like a 2-hour movie. So it's worth it. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I may do a game stream on the gaming channel tonight. So I'll see you guys there if you guys want to join and watch. Until then, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. You guys are amazing. I'm gonna go find that movie now. Peace. The law.